Who says the good vibes after an opening win of the season have to end with the game? We have another win, a commitment for the 2024 class. Let's talk about who that is and what it means for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn football team. War Eagle, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Kyle here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. As you're watching or listening today, be sure to drop a comment down below. We'd love to know your thoughts as we're sharing ours. Let's be clear that the opening win was good enough in and of itself, but just the icing on top of the cake, maybe the frozen icing. Sorry, that was a really bad one there, but there's gonna be plenty of those while Hugh Freeze is here, so just get ready for the puns. But the icing on the cake was this commitment that we're gonna be discussing today, a huge one that Auburn fans have been much anticipating, whether it's about the individual or the position itself. In fact, it's the second fall commitment that we've gotten thus far. That last one was Dimitri Nicholas. You should go check his video out where we give you all the details about him. Now, this commitment, who is it? Brand new into the 2024 class, our new offensive lineman, DeAndre Carter, with some really interesting stories to discuss in this. Auburn had to beat out some major players like Texas and Michigan State to win the commitment of this guy. As always, let's talk about the timeline of events that brought us to the point of his commitment today. This guy got a lot of attention early on. Back in 2021, started getting offers. In 2022, started taking unofficial visits. Auburn doesn't come into the picture until much later. Early June of this year, 2023, is when they actually first offered him. Very quickly after that, he took an official visit to Auburn. In fact, he came back for Big Cat Weekend. Now, there was a little bit of radio silence for a while until he named his top three, including Auburn. And eventually, on a YouTube channel, 24/7 Sports YouTube channel, he announced the commitment for the Auburn Tigers. He is still reportedly planning to take some official visits to other schools that he was interested in. Wouldn't be too worried right now. A lot of recruits do that from time to time. Now that you know how he got here, let's give you some facts about this particular prospect. He's considered a four-star prospect from Santa Ana, California, and played for Mater Dei High School in that region. His measurables are listed at 6'4", 340 to 345 pounds approximately. Based on those measurables, most people consider him to be an interior offensive lineman. Whether that's going to be center, guard, we'll find out much later. Let's back up those facts with a few stats. It is difficult to get you hardcore stats about non-skill positions. This is an offensive lineman, so it falls within that category, but we can talk about a few other things here. He has been starting at the left tackle position for his high school since he was a freshman, so a long time playing at a high level in high school. He will be an interior offensive lineman likely when he gets here, but that's a common thing that tends to happen. As far as other accolades, he was part of the Polynesian Bowl team and named to the 24/7 Sports All-Combine Team 2. So even without the stats, you got a really high caliber player coming in here. And now a few storylines about this prospect. We talk about patience here. Big Cat Weekend pays off in a big way yet again, a dividend from that. I grant you, it took a little bit of time to get there. You just got to be patient sometimes, though. This is also big news for Auburn family members because we have all lamented about offensive linemen in general, but the recruiting aspect of it too. So for this class, it's got to make you feel good to get this going with such a high caliber prospect like this. I want to take a quick second to remind you of our friends at Alumni Hall. As an affiliate of theirs, we know how good they are at helping you get geared up for game day with plenty of those left for the 2023 season. Don't hesitate. Visit them in-store, Auburn, Opelika, or Huntsville, or better yet, visit them online via the link in our description for our videos, especially here on YouTube. Don't hesitate, check those out to get geared up for the next Auburn football game that's on your calendar. Now that you know about the player, let's talk about what this commitment means for Auburn football, and we'll start off by talking about the numbers for the 2024 class. This now makes it 18 total commitments at the time of his commitment, all of those from the high school ranks. This is also the 7th total commitment on the offensive side of the ball, and the first big one at the offensive line position. Now let's talk about what his playing opportunities might be when he arrives here on the campus at Auburn. As always, you might want to consider this to be a case of someone redshirting when they come in. Anyone can earn playing time when they get out there on the field, but sometimes it takes people a little while to get into the college game and make those adjustments. But let's look at the depth chart and maybe make a guess about what those opportunities might be. When we look at this, you'll see that there are about 4 seniors currently at Auburn that will most likely obviously be gone. There are some juniors as well, a large set of them that are going to be coming up behind them and have already gotten some significant playing time. Those names would be, Jaden Muskrat, Jeremiah Wright, and several others. There's also a very large contingency of freshmen, including names like Connor Liu and Clay Whedon, behind those guys as well. So suffice it to say, I see there's a lot of people that he's going to have to beat out to play super early and super often when he arrives onto campus. We always like to talk about where these particular prospects come from in the recruiting game so we can build pipelines to help us in the future. This one is the very first in this class from the state of California. You don't hear Auburn going to California all that often. It just is not something that they typically do. So it's a huge win for this staff to not only get such a high caliber prospect, but to get someone from that state, a very talent-rich state too. And lastly, let's talk about what this commitment could mean for the rest of the 2024 class, and even more specifically within the class at the offensive line position. Let's look at the roster. Currently, there's 18 offensive linemen on the team as of this moment. 15 of those, in my estimation, are going to be the ones that see some type of playing time, at least significantly. We'll break that down even further. There's about 4 seniors, 5 juniors, and 6 freshmen. No sophomores so far on the roster. So when we look at that, you can see that those 4 spots being vacated by seniors, one of those is now filled. So logically, we could get to the point that this means that there's about 3 more spots available. It may not necessarily be the case, though. People often forget this, but Dylan Senda just transferred in at the very last hour to replace Garner Langlow. Essentially, the timeline doesn't line up exactly that way, but essentially that kind of is what the space filled. So I'm not super convinced that we're going to see a significant amount of offensive linemen further taken in this class. Obviously, the spots are there and things can develop quickly, as this relationship did. It's just something we're going to have to watch and monitor. Probably not done, but maybe not a whole lot more to take. That's my thoughts on your brand new prospect for the 2024 offensive lineman commit, DeAndre Carter. We'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments section below. As always, check out those links in the description for ways that you can help support Alumni Hall and us here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. War Eagle.